Hey guys, it's Valkrin. So we're going to go over a video today sort of going into depth about counter ganks and like when a gank goes really wrong and when to see the signs of, oh shoot, we're going to get double killed here or something like that. So I'm lane ganking in this situation when Jax has both summoners still, but we have no summoners between me and Volibear. And Lee Sin comes in here and counter ganks, and Volibear ends up raging really hard because he doesn't realize a few factors, and I'll go into that. He just sees me walk away when I'm still full HP, and Jax is low, but I'll break it down into the next segment of why that happened. But basically, this is going to happen in a lot of your games. You'll be playing the jungler, you'll be in the lane, and you won't really understand why someone's not cooperating with you. And usually it comes down to them knowing something that you don't, or you know something that they don't. So it's information not being spread between the two of them. And in this situation, it was because I knew Jax had summoners, and also the minion wave was built up and a new minion wave was coming on, like, while we were in the gank. So once the counter gank happened, and here you see Jax burn his flash. So that's confirmation that he had flash. It's basically a compromise of communication. Okay, so I'm in LO Recorder now. Let's run through this gank and how it all started from the beginning. So I'm coming into this bush because I don't know if river's warded, but there is no gank path that I can possibly do right now from the river. I mean, let's look at this situation. If I were to gank from this angle, this would yield probably the least success in any sort of gank like this. All Jax has to do is get to this area, which is about where the turret range is, and he's safe. So we only have this area to work with right now. We need to get Volibear to draw Jax out into the lane. And where the lane position is, it's going to start pushing eventually because of how many caster minions are built up. So it's just a matter of time. So by me lane ganking this, it wasn't the worst thing at the time, but as it progresses, I definitely should have backed off, and so should have Volibear. We shouldn't have followed through with this gank. But Jax is starting to get baited. Now, we're starting to have a little bit more room to work with. We had about this much distance to work with before, about up to there. Now we have a little bit more to work with, but for an ideal lane gank like this, we would need Jax to come up to about right here, so we would have about all of this room to work with to kill Jax. So Volibear flips it. This is the point, and he doesn't run back immediately, and this is what kind of confused me. I think that the Volibear should have continued to run back in this direction, but instead Volibear starts running forward, which confused me because I was like, I stepped out of the bush as soon as he flung him, assuming that that was the go. So miscommunication there. I guess I should have waited, or he should have just run back. He was trying to get out of the counter-strike radius, but I think he still should have just backed up. So this moment is the moment we should be like, okay, this is bad, this is bad, this is a counter gank. But in some situations, when you have, you know, a 2-on-1 like this, you can sometimes burn down their laner. Here's the key thing. We're actually behind in this situation. Let's look at this. We have these two minions right now. We have two minions compared to all of these minions. So many minions. A siege minion, we have a lot of caster minions. Now, how much damage are these minions going to do? This siege minion is going to do 44 damage each auto attack. Volibear right now does 85, and let's see how much damage I do per auto attack. 65 plus my dot. But basically, a siege minion at this point in time is going to be about half of a champion's auto attack. These caster minions, 26 damage a pop. So when you're fighting in a minion wave this early on, it's a big no-no. Minion waves built up this early on are like a lot of extra firepower. So as soon as we see Lee Sin safeguard on here, we should be like, we're getting out. So when this happens, I'm like really hesitant. I still am in the gank, technically. This is the moment where I'm like, this is bad. I knew Jax still had flash. I mean, we can see right now that Jax still has flash. We don't have any flashes of our own. We just have nothing. Lee Sin doesn't have any flashes, but in all honesty, when whoever you're trying to kill this early on has summoners, you should not overextend like this unless you can for sure say that it's not going to be turned on you. And we lost vision in the river right as this gank was going on, and that's when Lee Sin came, so it was kind of bad. Now, this is especially the moment that's just like, this is terrible. Like, this is the moment you're just like, okay, Volibear's dead. He's got all these minions aggroed onto him. Jax still has flash. Yeah, he still has flash. It's not up here, but it's over here. And they're this close to the tower. Now, if we had more room to work with, say if this all had been up here, in this area, over here or over here, or even over here, or even closer to our tower up there, this would totally be fine, right? But the main problem is it's really close to their tower. This is the danger zone. This is a zone where it's just like you have to make a decision whether or not you're going to start taking tower hits or not. And this is just really bad. Like, Volibear still has his passive, but all these minions, Lee Sin, they're just really strong right now. So even though I'm full HP right now, I had no cooldowns up when all of that was going down. I had no way to really follow up with that. As soon as we saw Lee Sin, we should have backed off, but it was just miscommunication. And that is why solo queue can be so frustrating, because it's all about working together as a team. And when you're not on the right page or on the same page as your teammates, it can get really frustrating. And in this Volibear's case, he raged really, really hard. And I felt really bad because I wish I could have done the gank differently. I wish the gank would have gone differently. I wish I didn't lane gank in this type of situation when we didn't know where Lee Sin was. But, you know, you learn from your mistakes, and that's the most important thing. And so, yeah. Keep in mind, guys, this is going to happen to you in solo queue games, and this is probably a major source of why so many people rage in solo queue. Is because, you know, you go in for a gank and you back off because they still have summoners up, you know they have summoners up, your teammate might not, or your teammate might think that you can dive this or something like that. A lot of miscommunication can just result in rage. People will just rage at each other, and I feel like the more players, you know, kind of get a fundamental understanding of different situations, especially early on in counter ganks, they can get a better grasp of handling, you know, stressful situations and being wrong or being right and how to handle it. And in this situation, I didn't rage back at Volibear. I just kind of didn't say anything, and that wasn't the best thing, but the way he was arguing, the way he was raging, the best way I could handle it was either to ignore him or not to say anything at all, and that's pretty much how I handled it. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I hope this helped, and I'll see you guys next time.